Hello everybody, welcome back to Language Litigation Integration Part 136, Casual Conversations 59. We'll start off with some relevant and random stories. I told you I get harassed every 2 days at the absolute maximum, so what happened yesterday? I got harassed. So we'll be talking about that. We're doing current events and talking points, and as always, fuck all Americans, law enforcement, academics, and business owners. People steal my property, they lie about it, they torture me, they harass me at my house, and I have no way to leave. So, I'm still enduring torture in direct violation of the Global Declaration of Human Rights, in direct violation of the United States Constitution, in direct violation of the Ohio Constitution. But law enforcement's the biggest gang in the world, and there's just nothing you can do about them. They're fucking worthless old fat white men, and a lot of other races and genders too, but those happen to be the worthless fucks that I've interacted with. They get a little bit offended and they assert any authority over you that they possibly can. So yesterday I was waiting on a mattress delivery and a TV installation. So again, let's talk about Best Buy for a little bit. Your total tech is absolutely totally shit. It's totally terrible. So go to buy a new TV, and I had some mounts on my wall. I think I already told you the story, but I literally took a picture. You had the cool story about the Best Buy. The guy says cool, so I had a TV ready to go, and whenever I have an appointment, all my stuff's always set up. If I have like someone, and when the mattress is coming, I have my stuff moved away so make sure they can move it out fine. I'm always prepped for everything I do. I'm always punctual, always on time, always prepared, and everybody else just doesn't give a fuck. And so, the first time they come out for the installation, they say I don't have the right mount. So this time I make sure I have the right mount. I call before the day before to make sure it's the right mount fitting to the TV. And she was like, let me check to make sure it's the right mount. But it's like I went to the store and asked them, like, here's the TV I bought, can I get a mount for this? So I hope it's the right one. Turned out it was the right mount. And then they said, you get a call it the day before. So it's like, I get a call the day before and they say between 12 and 4 p.m. And so the mattress gets here. Mattress was a 2-hour window. Shout out original Mattress Factory. That's a lot more reasonable than 4 hours or 8 hours. And so they did a good job. But so I'm sitting here between 12 and 4, and the first time they came out here when I had the wrong mount, they gave me a call like 30 minutes before. And so I'm sitting here from 12 to 4, nothing. I called the Total Tech around 5 o'clock and saying, hey, nobody showed up, no calls, no texts, no emails, no nothing. And so I go bounce around between 3, 4, 5 people, and they were like, it says still in transit. So then I went from 12 to 4 window to 3 to 6 window, then they said 12 to 8 p.m. window. With no updates. I had to call them and figure it out. So Best Buy Total Tech is absolutely fucking terrible. And the only reason I bought it was because I need delivery and installation. And I called one of the chicks. I'm like, can I, have it not auto renew next year? And she's like, well, you can call back when it's close to your renewal date. It's like I'm not gonna fucking remember. I just want one TV installed. And so I don't know why Best Buy you can't click don't auto renew. I just don't know why you can't click that. Or if again maybe hire people that speak better English so I know what the fuck's going on. Good God, we can speak any other language when they speak broken English and they rattle on, they're insecure and they're fat and worthless tech supporters and they get offended, they're going to assert authority over me like everybody I've ever met. Every worthless, dumb fucking animal I've ever fucking met. And so terrible interactions with Best Buy, again, just showing up on time or giving me updates. And so they never showed up, they never called back, they said calling 3 times, said in transit and still nothing since then, so. Can anyone do their job? Absolutely fucking not. Can they treat their customers with decency and respect? Absolutely not. Are they competent in any capacity whatsoever? Absolutely fucking not. And so I'm just sitting outside again, drinking beer. I have a couch in my garage, just like to sit out there and enjoy the day. And so I'm probably sitting out there because they said 12 to 8, so it's from like 7:30 to 8. So I'm just sitting out there for maybe 30 minutes. And those same worthless fucking cops, Deputy Robbins and Deputy Severance, to be specific, I couldn't see in the car who it was. But I'm not kidding you. Driving down the road, real slow, and I raise my hand and say, don't shoot, like, and again, in a playful way, like, thanks for harassing me at my home. And he yells out the window, stop calling our bosses. I called the Clinton Township Police Office 2 or 3 times, left messages 2 or 3 times, and I got on the original light, called them on 2 or 3 times as well. And all I did was ask for their badge numbers, their names, and their public records. So I've now called a police department, asked for public records, which of course are not going to get back to me, they're a fucking gang, they're going to cover up just like the Secret Service is lying about fucking January 6th text messages. It's the biggest gang in the fucking world. I called them back and simply asked them for public records. Left 2 or 3 messages, and again, I'm not going to be polite to Caitlin, whoever. I'm just not. Like, you stop fucking harassing me, enforce the law, and they don't, and they form a gang, and then it's what everybody has ever done to me. Every single fucking person I've ever interacted with has done this to me. So yelling out of your window, don't call our bosses asking for public records is harassment in the most legitimate sense of it possible. So if you guys want to keep catching more charges, keep harassing me. Again, I'm going to bring the fucking thunder down on you motherfuckers. It's this YouTube, so I gotta keep nice and polite, but I want them shunned out of society for real. I want them absolutely shunned the fuck out of society. And I'm gonna do everything I can to make sure your kids' careers are impossible. Fucking impossible. Go do your homework, little Johnny. Go steal from Brad. That's exactly what you're doing. Go to school. That school district is distributing these videos right here. They're learning from me, and that teacher's gonna go and tell the kid shitty theorems from Brad. And then you're gonna come harass me at my house, literally sitting outside waiting for a TV delivery. I'm not making any noise, I'm just sitting there while walking up and down my driveway to see if the delivery people are coming. Making no noise, just standing there. Don't call our bosses and act for public record. So again, I made the grave sin of opening my back door, and the sellers of this house did not give me the PIN, and now cops actively hate me and harass me at my home for just existing. So again, I've been in this house for less than a week, and I've been harassed twice. And I already can't, I've been on a mainly liquid diet for the past 2.5 years because every single person I interact with is going to torture me. It's what's going to happen when insecure people meet a mature person and then insecure people have control in any capacity whatsoever. Whatso fucking ever. So that's all I'm going to say for here, but it's fucking on. Xbox Series X Quick Resume is absolute fucking shit. So I've had an Xbox Series X for some time, and every time if I click from my Spectrum app to my Xbox, it says Quick Resume launched. And that's from the TV, but it's like Quick Resume, supposed to be able to change between games real fast, and then it doesn't load the game properly. So I have to restart my Xbox. So that shit's absolutely fucking terrible. Spectrum channel changing is also absolute fucking shit. So again, I don't know, my power went out at my apartment probably about 2 months ago, and ever since then, every time I try to change the channel on Spectrum, it just restarts the app entirely. So again, I think I might have told you this, but the Xbox controller, if you get Spectrum, you have to pay extra for the actual little cable box. So I just have a streaming app on my Xbox, and if you click to the right on the D-pad, you get the guide, and if you click down, you get recently viewed channels. Every time I click down on the D-pad, it restarts the app every single time. So buy Spectrum, well, you can't change your channel conveniently. Like you have to scroll through each guide, and I don't know what else to fucking do because can anybody do their job? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Beer is a source of calories for me. Like again, I'm on a mainly liquid diet because of societal torture, and there is nothing I can do, and I've been enduring this for 10 years. It has literally been 10 years like this. 10 fucking years like this, with harassment every 2 weeks at the absolute maximum. Absolute fucking maximum. And not random comments. All of this stuff combined is fucking profound and extensive torture. Does anybody care about me? No. Will anybody ever care about me? No. I'm a fucking scapegoat to the point of slavery, and I'm just a beating post. Anybody who wants to pump their insecurities into me can do so. In Columbus, Ohio, and Americans are the most disgusting fucking people that have ever fucking lived. All of you, fuck all Americans, law enforcement, academics, and business owners, everybody. But again, after when the cops are commenting on me consuming alcohol, I can't eat solid food because I've been truly kicked out of society in every fucking way possible. It is profound and extensive torture. And so again, I drink my big protein shake in the morning for breakfast and try to get dinner down if I'm not getting actively harassed or if delivery drivers don't take 8 hours just to not fucking show up or give you an update at all. I just want to feel safe enough to fucking eat. When your rights are violated, you never feel safe. So you never generate an appetite. Again, it's not like I'm nauseous. It's not like I feel like I'm going to throw up. I can't put food in my mouth, chew and swallow, because people kick me out of the human fucking experience. I do not get a human. I do not get to do anything involved in that. Anything about a normal life, I do not get to fucking do, because other people do not know how to fucking behave. Prime becomes the official beverage for Arsenal. Triple H. Just watched Logan the Impulsive with Triple H. Amazing, fucking amazing. Become an influencer. Make some YouTube videos for a while. Daily vlog. Start a beverage company with the person you boxed that you used to hate, and now it's an official beverage for fucking Arsenal. That's what privilege looks like to Logan Paul. Being able to fucking be a human being and start a business. Well, you get to be the official beverage for Arsenal. I can't sit on my driveway without cops yelling at me, for real. And I've been here a week and I've done nothing wrong. I just moved in and they didn't give me the alarm code. And now these cops are fucking predatory. And just like, what the fuck can I do against worthless old fat white men? You can't do anything. They're privileged, pathetic, fucking trash. I'm gonna fuck your lives, that's guaranteed. Not a physical threat, but I'm gonna kick you the fuck out of society. But what do I think about just WWE? I always thought it was goofy. I never really watched it. But I did. Triple H was talking about, because I played N64, NWO, WWE, NWO, N64 game, fucking awesome game. But, and he's talking about Triple H, The Undertaker, The Rock. And you can't forget the greatest wrestler of all time, Chris Benoit. Great family man, always thinking about the kids. Another quote I forgot to mention from when the cops were in my house again after proof of ownership, harassing me, looking for someone to say go fuck yourself in my house. They all have their hands like fucking jiggling next to their guns, and I can see the shit. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, why are you guys putting your hands on your guns? And he says that's a natural place for hands to go, not when you're in another man's home and he's committed no crimes and you guys are just bug fucking around. But again, I can't control cops because they can't behave and they have all the authority. They went to summer camp for 6 months and now they can fucking shoot me in my fucking house. Americans are disgusting. America's the most disgusting fucking place in the fucking world. It's just so fucking disgusting. But what was U.S. kills Al-Qaeda leader Ayman al-Zawahiri. Zawahiri. I don't know if the H is silent or not in Afghani. I don't know. Is that in the Arabic? I don't know. But the planner of 9/11. Yep. When Building 7 comes down and they planned to hit the buildings, but then how did it fall down with no air resistance? Which is, again, physically impossible. So you have those goat farmers, they somehow got into America, and then that plane hit, and jet fuel doesn't melt steel beams, because it doesn't. And then it falls down with no air resistance. We don't talk about Building 7, and there's NXT at the base. Yep, the planner of 9/11. And again, we talked about the jackals, whoever the fucking military operative on PBD podcast was. And this is what, 2001? And these people, this is all the United States government did from the 70s to the 90s. And so 5 years later was different? Fuck no. Of course there was 12 Saudis planning it. There's no fucking chance they did it alone. They put the pieces into motion. And once it's going on, then nobody knows and there's no culpability. And I don't give a fuck. I wish we would have killed more fucking Americans. Again, not a violent threat, but this is the most disgusting country in the fucking world. And then this is what I mean by they lie about history and it causes me real emotional damages. And then I watched Ben Shapiro like, oh, you got the bad guy in Kabul at 6 a.m. on his balcony. Yeah, well, they also sabotage their own citizens and they commit treason left and right every single fucking day. And I don't feel safe in this country. I've never felt safe in this country. I've never felt like a decent fucking person just walking down the street or sitting on my fucking driveway. So yeah, they killed the Al-Qaeda leader that they helped put into power, helped plan, helped demolish the buildings with, and then blamed him. Yep, got him, gotcha. Yep, those goat farmers can plant bombs in the United States with nobody noticing, even though George Bush's brother was the event planner or the construction lead for Building 7 and all this other shit. And NXT at the base, whoa, let's black that out, just move on. And good riddance. Fucking Americans just can't accept real fucking facts. I live in the real world and everybody else in America and everybody else in this fucking world lives in fucking la la land of privilege and trash. Fuck human beings. Who versus who? It's a language series. I don't know, I have a talking point written down. I don't know. This always threw me. When I was going to study for the ACT, it's like, what the fuck is the difference? Who versus whom? Let's just shoot that at Google. We'll go on to another talking points. Dirty cops are rats. Historically, I believe dirty cops, like when you say rats, like the mob hate rats. I mean, people that snitch on people, but I think the original historical definition is dirty cops are rats. Ratas. Matas ratas. Who versus whom? I just have some Beta Society comments. Anytime people say that's scary, was it terrifying? Again, I watched Lex Friedman and Ryan Graves. The rule: who functions as a subject while whom functions as an object. Right? The difference between subjects and objects, direct objects. So there's the basic idea of who is the subject form and whom is the object form. So that doesn't give me anything. But they were talking about, like, was it scary, or just in general, this isn't to the podcast, but just anytime I said, was it scary, that's a statement everyone says from privilege. Was it scary? Is a dog ever scared? Is a horse ever scared? Is a bear ever scared? No. They're just doing things in privilege. It allows you to be scared. I feared for my life. I have never lived my life. I've never had the expectation to live my life. I have no expectation to live my life now. There's nothing I can do to fit into society. There's just nothing I fucking can't. Ooh, the Bob Evans stories, the heartbeat limit, and hibernation. Discrete versus continuous. Some talking points from the Ryan Graves and Lex Friedman, number 308. Again, why Ryan Graves and his team picked up radar UFOs every single day over the Atlantic Ocean. My initial intuition was like, what was deeper? Deeper ocean, Pacific, peaceful, or the Atlantic. So it's shallower, dans la rue, in the street. I don't know, it's just probably a more active area. But, the UFOs are fucking everywhere. But discrete versus continuous, they talk about there's a little cube or a little triangle in the center, surrounded by like this like a spherical thing, just like auto park, right? How when they break apart and they come back together, just organization thing. 99.99% certain. But the Bob Evans stories, I'm not told these on here, but I've told it a lot at the apartment people. But so when I was probably, I don't know, young, 7, 8, 9 years old, we'd go into Bob Evans in Westerville, Ohio, and probably 2 or 3 times there was this old dude just looking at me, not in a weird way, but like he knew something or something. He would look at me, and then 2 times, again, this happened 2 or 3 times. Like I'd see him probably 3, 4 times, and 2 times he gave me something. So, and again, I was with my parents. This dude comes up to me, doesn't really say much. He says, "Hey, I see you there." And then he gave me a mosquito and amber, like real amber. It was really, really cool. I remember it was really solid amber. This fossil was 400 million years old. He just gives me this little bug with amber. And then go into Bob Evans again the next week, and he gives me this thing. It was like polyester or like it's almost like plastic, really, but it was like a polygon. It was like plastic polygon. He was giving me that thing. And at the time, I remember, because I was like 7, 8, 9 years old, I was like, what? Like, again, not 0% weird way, but it's just like he knew something. And at the time, I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. And I've been doing active derivation my entire life. But now looking back on it, absolutely fucking think he knew something. Again, maybe a tall gray or some shit. But I just remember, I was like, this guy knows something. Now that what I've done in my life is like, that's absolutely somebody that knew something about science before people knew what the fuck I was doing for real. So, I've told those stories in person at the apartments, but I've not told them on here. But the heartbeat limit and hibernation. 100% certain that, again, metabolism would be limited by the heartbeat, the 400 billion heartbeats across all animals or whatever. You can't imagine what's in the rocks. Now it's got a digestive tract. Now I can metabolize it, I can imagine. But hibernation, right? You could, like I said, we've talked about, could you freeze yourself and shoot yourself off into space for a long, long time? Probably not, but could you hibernate for some amount of time? Certainly. So, lifespan for other individuals or species could vary substantially, just depending on hibernation and any serious slowdown in metabolism. But I'm certain the heartbeat limit would be pretty consistent. So, I watched Bill Nye and Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro wrecks Bill Nye with logic, but again, Ben is just sells our babies in life and Bill Nye is just pathetic as fuck, just a scummy thief. I used to like Bill Nye, but I hate everybody now because I'll steal from me and lie about it. But Ben says, why doesn't anybody like abortion? Because Bill Nye says nobody likes abortion. Again, abortion, meaning killing a life, well, technically this is aborting, ceasing to do something, but a ball of cells is not a life. A dependent sentient thing is not sentient by biological definition. But why doesn't anyone like abortion? Because it's not abortion, you're not killing anything, it's not a cell, it's under development. Bill Nye's not a scientist. He says he is, he's the science guy, but he's not. Nobody's a fucking scientist compared to me, just nobody. And so Bill Nye is privileged. He says, he's trying to appeal to we don't like killing at all, it's not killing, it's not a life. It's not a life, so it's not killing. And who cares? Who fucking cares? I have cops in my fucking house jiggling their fucking guns. And yep, we care about life so much. Oh, look, there's Russia and Ukraine. Oh, there's China and Taiwan. Oh, there's America in its own buildings. And so it's just, at the society level, people are trying to ensure we don't have any fucking values, and it's disgusting. This is the most disgusting species that has ever fucking lived. And everybody besides me has literally contributed to fucking detriment to the entire fucking species, for real. Just lie, steal, and go make some money and jump around from jobs. You guys are doing a good job. But discrete versus continuous, again, just you can have just independent spaceships that are spheres, triangles, and cubes. But when they're flying in formation, that's how they link back up. What does night vision mean? Here's another definition that's jumped out from Ryan Graves. Vision, frequencies. We see reflected light that is not absorbed. Frequencies, momentum that is not absorbed. Night vision, just different frequencies. So, I don't know, just a definition that jumped out. What's in my headphones? New songs that I like Anne Marie's Pain Never Looked This Good. It's the album and the first song, I like that one. Until We Meet Again, I like that one off her album. Future, again, one of the most influential song lyricists of all time, Puffin' on Zooties. That was one of the most insightful and inspiring titles of a song I have ever heard. Puffin' on Zooties, and it's a great song. So shout out Future. And K-Camp album, Vibe Forever. I like K-Camp a lot. None of the songs really jumped out to me to write it down. And finally, but Murder versus Killing, just again back to the Ben Shapiro and Bill Nye. Or what's the difference? Murder, killing something, killing. Murder, the intention of ending a life. Killing, just any act that results in the end of a life. So again, balls of cells are not sentient, and if you're dependent, you're not sentient. China flexes on about Taiwan. Nancy pulls up anyway. Pronuncia of Asia, Asia, right? Asia, Asia. Historically, I'm almost certainly the pronunciation would be Asia. But yep, China says those who play with fire will perish by the fire, and says, if they even dare, and then Nancy pulls up to Taiwan. You guys all steal from me, and who gives a fuck? Start World War III. This world is disgusting. Fucking disgusting. But fuck you, Xi. You steal from me, you dumb fuck. Have my data for free. Got one of those fucking, not a robocall, but those scanned emails. I think almost 99% sure I didn't check to see if my PayPal account was locked. I had a text message yesterday that says, you're from just some extremely long, automated type of text message address. Your PayPal account's been locked. Please click this link to verify. It's like, yeah, I'd get an email from PayPal, so I just deleted the text message, did not click the link. Not trying to get hacked. Not trying to get some money stolen. Fucking Russia. It said from Russia. But I don't think it was actually PayPal. I deleted the text message. Don't know if my PayPal account's actually locked. Don't give a fuck. But this world is just so fucking broken, man. It is just so fucking broken. Oh, and some final stories, I guess. Probably a short episode. I thought I had a little more to say. But again, I don't have things to say when I'm getting tortured. I need to feel safe. That's the only thought that goes through my head, and then I can't resolve it because they can just drive by and harass me again. And there is nothing I can fucking do. Governor Mike DeWine, John Husted, Elaine Bryant, get me the fuck out of here. Fucking please. I'm gonna be tortured until I'm dead because people don't raise their fucking kids. If you do not know how to raise kids, which is everybody I've ever met, stop having them. They're gonna grow up, they're gonna not know how to behave, they're gonna be insecure, and they're gonna spread their insecurity to other people just like every single person I've ever fucking met. Every single fucking dumb whore and dumb cunt I have ever fucking met is like that. But my dad flaking on me. So, again, probably Easter time, or maybe just when my brother was in town or something. But again, just I remember going to my 5-year high school reunion and people making fake plans just that's what you do. It's like, hey, let's go get lunch someday, and then they never follow up, and I'm like, I don't give a fuck, we don't have to hang out at all. That type of shit now happens with my father. And so he's like, again, I'm not trying to go bike 100 miles, not trying to set up plans or anything. My dad's like, hey, we should go do a bike ride someday. And he had clear in this context of I should make plans, and then he never follows through. And it's just we don't need to do this fucking dance. We just fucking don't. But yeah, he's like, we should go kayaking, and it never hits me up about kayaking. We should go biking. Never hits me up about biking, just at all. And it's just again, I don't care. I just want to stop getting treated like fucking trash. But yeah, now my dad's flaking on me in the same way again. There's your seventh best friend they haven't seen in 4 years. You might make some shitty plans and never follow through because you just think it's the thing to do because people don't know how to socialize because everyone's selfish individuals that never grew up. So again, my life is absolutely rock bottom, and it's been rock bottom forever. My life is fucking disgusting. I'm surrounded by fucking trash, and there's nothing I can fucking do about it. The first person that gives me a time frame, I would not have bought a house. Hey Brad, we might publish our shit in 5 years. No problem, I live on $100K a year. I go travel, I go do what the fuck I want. I can't feel safe enough to fucking eat. I have never made a choice for myself in the duration of my life. And there is no way out. All I need is someone to enforce the law or release my property. Either or. Ideally both, which again is legally obligated, but are there laws in this country? No. Is there decency in this country? No. Are there people that know how to behave? No. And I'm coming for absolutely fucking everybody. Every charge, every case, every lawsuit. Fuck you. And yeah, Logan Paul says, oh, some mean text message about his whore cunt of a fucking mother. You're a fucking trashy fucking thief. It is what it is. Go fucking shoot yourself, Logan Paul. You get to be the official beverage for Arsenal and jump off the top rope at WWE and I can't fucking eat and sleep and fucking sit on my driveway without getting harassed by fucking cops. Fuck 12. Yeah, you're gonna call us when you need us. I don't need you driving past my house and saying, don't call our bosses for public records. I can't control gang members. And when they're cops, I really can't control them. But it is what it is. So, that's really it for today. The stuff, still have to figure out how to get my fucking TV installed. That shit never showed up. I already paid for it, so. But thank you for watching Language Litigation Integration Part 136, Casual Conversations 59. My name is Brad Bose. I am being profoundly and extensively tortured. There is nothing I can do, there is nowhere I can go, and there is no one I can call. I am going to be tortured until the day that I fucking die. See you next time.